Welcome to the Global Rising Summit. Stand up, speak out, be seen. I am Janine Savient and my co-host is Heather Ellis. And with us today we have the beautiful Sheelagh Marias. Welcome, Sheelagh.
Welcome.
Hello.
All the way across the world in, what did you say, deepest, darkest Lancashire?
Lincolnshire, and it's pretty deep and it's pretty dark, yes.
So I'll just read out Sheelagh's bio. Sheelagh Marias' journey started when she had her fourth child. He had no symptoms, yet she had a growing sense of unease, and despite the midwives telling her he was healthy, she felt different. Eventually, she heard a voice that called itself Michael, and this voice told her to get him to a hospital now. She did as she was told and found he had 20 minutes to live. They saved him. As it turned out, he was in heart failure. Over the next 16 months, Sheilagh's connection with Michael saved her son 2 more times, but her own life went into a nosedive. She went into a refuge and had to rebuild her life again. But all the time, Michael and the other voices she now heard told her everything was on track. Sheelagh ended up working on the psychic lines, where she naturally started teaching people how to connect to their own angels and guides, and this became her forte. She started writing for an American website, and before long was teaching people around the world to hear angels, open to their clairvoyance and connect to their divine purpose. Not everyone was meant to be a professional clairvoyant, of course, but everyone has a purpose they could connect to by talking and being guided by their team. Fast forward to present day, Sheilagh's ethos is inspired by her own journey of being judged and vilified, through to standing in her power against the odds, creating a new life for herself. She works with empaths, people who want to transform their careers and relationships, and she teaches channeling to healers and awakened people around the world. She is now happily married to Mr. Right and lives with her wolves, her black cat and her healthy children in a cottage in deepest, darkest Lincolnshire. Sheelagh currently channels the Pleiadian Council of 9 and prides herself on knowing everyone has this skill. If you would like to find out how working with the guides can transform your life, then visit Sheilagh's website to find out more about how they and she can support you at www.sheelaghmaria.com. Her final word is this: you came here for a reason, you have what it takes, and your guides believe in you 100%. Now it's time you did too. Beautiful. Thank you, Sheelagh. So, Sheelagh, you are a channel, a clairvoyant, and a coach.
I am, yes. Yeah.
And would you like to share with us how you started hearing the angels? And for a start, though, let me ask you this question. You refer to Michael. Is this the Archangel Michael that you refer to?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah, it is. The big blonde hunk. Yes.
With the sword.
Yes, with the chopper.
So would you like to share with us now your story on how you started connecting with the angels, and just take us and the viewers through that time?
So I think the thing is that I'm dead normal. I'm completely disorganized. I do the school run every morning. You know, I make tea every night. I deal with dog wee on a regular basis. And, you know, that's just the animals. I think what's important is that I'm no more special than anybody else. I was an overweight, dumpy 35-year-old. I was very unhappily married, but I was making the best of it, as many people do. You know, you've made your bed, you've got your kids, you've got to lie in that, you're scared of making that change. And, you know, Michael was born, he was going to be called George, and when I heard this voice, it's like, my father-in-law was called Michael, and we definitely did not gel, so it was not like my first choice. And, you know, I've got to say this, everybody feels, if if you're bombarded by other people's stuff and you attribute the way that you're feeling to, and I'm sorry, they're just saying this is more important than my story.
Mm.
If you feel something and you go, I feel like that because I've got no money, it's probably not yours. If you get yourself to a place where you're okay and then a few hours later you feel depleted and you've been with your friend and she's depleted you, or you've been with a family member and they're having a good old moan and you feel drained, you want to go to bed, well, I have to. That is clairsentience. We all have it. The fight or flight response, the nesting instinct, they're trying to be compassionate but really disliking someone, knowing that someone is really on your wavelength. You see me jerking, getting the willies, I call it, looking over your shoulder and feeling as though you're being watched, seeing flashes out the corner of your eyes. These are normal things. Having a feeling that something's going to happen but you don't know what, and then you go, that's it, I knew it was coming. So this is clairsentience, and that's where most people start. I didn't see externally. It put my child nearly to die for me to hear externally. I didn't have the energy for that. It was a desperate circumstance. Clairsentient is what I was. It's still my biggest gift. If you're able to feel, then you are talented. Thank you. It would make no sense for you to come to earth and be cut off from the widest support network that you've got, because humans can only help you so far. They can only help you as far as their path is. So, you know, the reason I'm here is to say, if you're listening to this ain't about me, this is about you. Sorry, this is about you. And it's about, it doesn't matter. You know, I was crap at school. I'm on my third marriage. I'm happy now, but, you know, I've never done very well at anything. And, you know, I'm like Marmite, you love me or hate me. I'm you know, terrible at saying the wrong thing at the right time, or the right thing at the wrong time to entirely the wrong people. But the thing is, this is everybody's story. We all do our best. And I think what's important is, if I can do this, I'm not a psychic. I just use my heart. I'm the worst tarot reader. I'm a terrible medium. I can do it, but it's boring to me. And for me, it's not about being better than anyone else. It's being the best that you can be so that you can change your life. And if you're over giving to other people, you can't get it back. So I think the message that we really want to share, your heart is the doorway to your guides and your angels. Your highest self, your highest self is literally like the best spirit guide you could ever have. Your highest self will drop stuff down into your 8th chakra, which is about there, when you've got enough energy. So the biggest tip I can give people, make sure you're not going over your energy levels. You've got to have enough physical energy, emotional energy, and mental energy for your guides to connect with you. And if you've got the ability to feel, you can channel, you can develop it. There's no end to how any of us can develop. There's going to be subjects that we're very, very able to develop, and there's going to be other subjects that are not meant for us, but we can go so far in. But don't let anyone tell you that because you've had a difficult life, or you haven't got a lot of money, or you've not found the right partner, that it can't change. Because I'm 44 and I'm living proof that it can. And so I'll shut up now. Sorry.
I was just enthralled.
No, you're fabulous. You're fabulous, Sheelagh.
Yes.
So you talked about the heart a few times in the last few minutes, and what I'm aware of, Sheelagh, is that more and more people are discovering this beautiful place within them, and because of that discovery, they are actually opening up to these new layers and levels of life. Have you noticed that yourself within your work?
Oh, you know, without going into anything else, there's more love on the planet than there ever has been. And people are very uncomfortable because they're waking up and their views are being tested. And I'm talking about the third dimensional people that will ascend to the fifth dimension, as we all will. And sometimes as a society, and I'll be honest, I didn't vote in Brexit, and I should have done, but I didn't, because as a light worker, it's like, no. None of us can get away with that. If something's happening in another country, we're connected to those people. We're connected to the perpetrators. We might not want to think we are, but we are. We're connected to the victims. And the heart is a beautiful place, but it isn't always a light place. So people shouldn't feel as though they've got to be all light and all loving, because that's not possible. Source is everything. But when you delve into the dark, you will head towards the light. And some of the darkest people, and I'm talking figuratively, have the most humanistic of attitudes. If you look at, Nelson Mandela or Mother Teresa, people that saw Princess Diana, people that saw really difficult things, really burnt the brightest in the world. And so, sorry, what I want to say, they're all coming in. Yeah, the heart is the doorway to everything you haven't got. The way that you will get it is not by law of attraction techniques. It's by loving yourself. Think of yourself as a fire. If all you can do is stop over-giving and love yourself, love your droopy boos and your flabby thighs, and that's just the men. Love the fact that you do the best for your kids and they don't appreciate what you do. Love yourself. You don't need to worry about loving everyone else. If you build up your fire, people will be drawn to you, and that's your opportunity to help them through helping yourself first. So a wonderful way, thank you. So we have what's called heart walls, and those are just like fences that we all put up to protect ourselves. And the angels are saying it's not a great idea to take all those fences down and then feel vulnerable and then put a fortress up. But what you can do is you can just lower those fences when you're feeling safe and see how it feels. So if you're somebody that's had an issue with money, or you've had an issue with women or men, who can you trust? What money can you trust is going to come in? Look at where you can feel loving. Maybe you can really, really, really love your children. You can really, really, really love your dog. You can be very accepting of, that family member because you know that they're doing the best that they can. You don't have, thank you. Spirit are asking me to say that love at a spiritual level is not love at a human level. At a spiritual level, it's a curious awareness and acceptance of another being. And any channeler, if you watch them, the guides will be very, like Abraham, they'll be very tongue-in-cheek about the most serious of subjects. They say when we croak. They don't have the attachments that we have. So I think, if we could get to a place where we go, well, if that floats your boat, that's okay, and bring everything back to you, you won't feel the threat that often we feel that we might lose something. Thank you. And they say if you think you're going to lose something, you're giving too much. You're giving at a level which you're not truly comfortable with. And in that situation, whether it's to do with money or a relationship, give more to yourself and it'll come to you. You don't need to outsource it all, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to say to the viewers that if they hear all these different sounds on this interview today with you, Sheelagh, that what they're actually hearing is is all the beautiful beings that have come in and that are talking, and your expanded energy at the moment. So just because, yes, the sound is coming and going, and it's very obvious what it is. So we're a huge collective here on this call today. So yes, so thank you for sharing all that. You know, what I am witnessing in the last year or so, in my own knowing, is that light workers around the world have striven for so long to reach that level of purity and absolute light, believing that that's where we need to be, and bypassing or trying to skip through, ignore or deny the shadow parts and the darker parts, if you like, of themselves. So and so now we're realizing, of course, that we encompass the whole lot, the shadow and the light. As you said before, source is everything. So so you've said parts like that within your speech just before, and it just triggered this bit within myself.
I think, you know, what I want to say on that, people say, what's my purpose? And they very think it's about doing something big and magnanimous for a large group of people. But a baby that lives 20 minutes has a purpose, and they fulfilled it. Just by being in a body, you bring more consciousness, you bring more consciousness to the earth. And every bit of consciousness that is grounded into the earth realm, even if it looks like it's low consciousness, is playing a part. The other thing we would say is that the I am, which is at the very center of your being, and you can connect with your I am, it's your observer self, but it's where you experience yourself. You don't have to be clairvoyant to do this. You just close your eyes and you just breathe 3 breaths, and then you go still, and you'll feel as though you're in the womb. It's very, very safe. It transcends your physicality. And very often we want to transcend our physicality, but that's not why we're here. We're here to experience the compression, you know, the awkward sitting on a nail situation. We're here to experience the emotional crypt neck, or, you know, the financial stomach ache. We're here to experience all of that. And your purpose is not to be light and perfect. Your purpose is to be imperfect in your experience of yourself. So the more that you experience emotions, the more that you experience moving through, riding the river. So the more you allow, and emotions are not who you are. You're not failing if you've got anxiety or depression. You're not failing if you're bipolar. You're not failing if you've got learning disabilities. Those set points were set up. That is part of your essence on the earth. I'm sorry, because they're all coming in. And you know what they're saying is your purpose can be made far happier by not striving. Everything you want will come to you from the heavenly Amazon. You know, down that river, you don't have to go to it. If you focus on being as satisfied or as accepting as you can, the more crap you've got to deal with, accept it. It's like having your bikini line waxed. The quicker it's over, and then the new stuff can come in. Because there's one thing that we all know, and that is evolution will happen. Everything will pass. Your ability to allow it pass through you will bring the new energy in. And the breath is the biggest tool you can have. If all you do is imagine your favorite color, mine happens to be pink, imagine it above you and breathe it down and out. You're literally breathing heaven into your aura. And then it's like the smell of baking bread, it goes down your timeline. So if all you do is you're walking the kids to school or making the toast or, you know, having a wee, whatever it is, breathe deeply. If you can just, with your eyes open, breathe deeply in out. You don't even have to breathe a colour. You're upping your vibration. It allows your guides to come in, and they're like they're like aliens. They do look like aliens, a lot of them. Off they trot down your timeline, and it's like one of those pickers in a supermarket. They will actually start putting things in place for you. So the breath is the fastest way to clear your path. You don't have to affirm and visualize, just breathe.
You know, I love your analogy of the Amazon, the flow of information and energy that comes to us here, because up until recent times, when we sit and meditate or we sit in the stillness, the first thing we want to do, and have done for lifetimes, I'd say, is we take off rather than go within. So now we're learning, of course, that everything that we seek is within us, not we don't go to it, as you say, we allow it all to come to us.
And you know what I want to say is, if you can imagine that your spine, your chakras are there, they face outwards, but your chakras, if you turn the spine around, the chakras go into the other realms. The realms aren't up there. Up there is no good, because you're partially focused here. So if you go within to the stillness, even though you're still on the third dimension, you are also on the fifth, sixth, and all the way up as well. So going within, you don't even have to meditate. I mean, I am a butterfly. I've only just had to meditate because of the channeling. But if you can go within and breathe in for 4 really slow, deep breaths, you will connect to your higher self. And when you connect to your higher self, all it is an expanded awareness of you. You're never going to feel anything other but more of you, because there is only more of you, because we are source. Beautiful. So, yeah.
So I would say, Sheelagh, that one of part of your passion in this is empowering others to know this part of themselves. I mean, that is very, very obvious. Do you want to talk about what it is that you do with others to help them empower themselves?
I don't do it. They do. They trust me enough to have access to their higher self and their guides, and I just deliver the messages. And, you know, sometimes the messages are dead straight. They're always loving, but they're always what the person really requires. And I think empowering someone is not ever about pushing them. I always think it's about uncovering the place where they're ready to step into. And it, you know, I'm actually speechless, because I'm not very good about talking about what I do, because I don't feel that it's me that does it. I feel it's the person who does it. And when I'm channeling, you know, it's about them, and I'm just the lucky person that gets to sit here. I don't have any special gifts. I'm just a mum and a wife, and that's really it. I actually haven't got anything to say. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So when a client comes to you, you support them to get their own messages and connect to themselves?
So I offer 3 kinds of services. The first kind of service I offer is basically working with their angels and guides over every topic. So, you know, complicated marriages and relationships, to wanting to set up businesses, to what their divine blueprint is. I can tell them why they're here, how far through a certain lesson they are, what's coming next, all of that. So we do that. The thing I'm really passionate about is teaching people to connect to their own gifts. So training empaths, take it to the next level, training channelers, training people I train professionals. That is my day job, is I train sensitive people. My mission is to have an army of channelers out there, healers that are channeling, helping people to help themselves. So we want to dominate the world with, love and hugs and chocolate biscuits. And I just want everyone to know that they're enough. And if they do the same, damn, we've got a good thing going.
So for the listeners now, how would they know if they're meant to do this themselves? Or, I know everybody has the ability, if they're and if they're open to it, they can learn this. But how do they know if they're meant to do this?
Okay, so there are different levels. Everybody can drive a car, but not everybody's going to be a race driver. But we say begin and find out. If you're listening to this, you're obviously a healer, a potential life coach, a change maker, a way shower. You wouldn't be listening to this, and you wouldn't be listening to myself and Janine if that isn't what you were. So you've already got that feeling in the bottom of your stomach that goes, I want to do something. And what can stop people is the perception that it's going to take them lots of money or lots of time, or that they're going to be tested. But I would say you don't have to be psychic. I am not psychic, and I never intended to be. You don't have to be a card reader. You don't have to have seen your dead grandma when you were 2.5. It's about working with energy in a way that's right for you. And you are energy. It's the most natural thing in the world. There are so many energies you can work with. Animals, you can work with, obviously, angels. You can work with spirit guides. You can work with the universe. It doesn't have to be denominational in any way. You can work with your higher self. You can work with the energy of the collective. And you can heal just by being the best version of yourself. Everybody needs to understand themselves better to understand other people. And if all you get from working with someone like me is a mirror that makes you feel bloody good about who you are and what you've done, then how can that not help you? But it's not about clairvoyancy per se. That's just how I get my information. It's about them as a person.
Beautiful. So if a person's feeling blocked in their path, as every human being at some stage is, what is your advice there? How do you help a person move through their blocks?
Okay, so the way that I would help them is different to the way that they can help themselves, because I will literally be told what their blockage is. For them, I would say that the one thing that they're trying to avoid is the one thing that they need to dive into to let everything else move forward. It might be that the relationship is preventing the business from moving forward. The one thing that you're scared because it feels as though it has an inevitability about it, step back and step back again. They are saying the best thing you can do is step back from the problems which worry you and give yourself a week, put whatever you need to on hold just to feel the energy at the bottom of it. Because very often people feel like they've got a gun to their heads, but they haven't really. And when you get that gun away and you look at what you really want, very often we try to make ourselves want something that we think we have to have. But very often what we really want is the very thing that will take the pressure off yourself. Michael says, just take the pressure off yourself, take a week off, and if you're in doubt, do nothing. Unless it's imperative, do nothing. And it will sort itself out, is what they say. If there's an urgency to it, you'll know it. Yeah.
Thank you. So here's a question for you that I know will intrigue a lot of viewers. Whereabouts are all these beings? So here we are in this reality right now in this moment.
Okay.
And we see glimpses of them. We can sense them. Some can see them. Where are they?
Okay. So you'll have heard some people say their vibration is so high, but you are aware of them at another level, because if you hadn't asked them to be with you, you wouldn't even be asking about them. Your higher self knows the archangels like you know Fred from Number 9. You know these beings. They are your family. They are normal for you. And you are as special as they are. There's no separation. They're right next to you. They're in the living room that you're in. They're in the kitchen that you're in. And, you know, you get books that say they come to you as a spontaneous thought. They're already there. Right. All of you have at least 4 guardian angels and a team of at least 7. And they literally stand outside your aura and they inflate their energy into your aura. So when you see me going like this, it's because they're inflating lots of energy in. Every idea that you have, every epiphany that you have, every realization that you have is coming from your guides and also your higher self. So where are these beings? They're everywhere. They couldn't be, you know, we're a tiny planet in the middle of space. There's a lot more of them than they are of us. Really, this is a play. And if anybody's ever had that feeling that this is an illusion and I'm not really here, you're right. There's only 10% of you in your body. The rest of you is up there choreographing what comes next. This isn't real. That's what we want to say. And that's why it can all change. You just write a new script.
Yeah, spot on. So, Sheelagh, do you work online? Like, do you work over the internet, just to let the viewers know how?
Yeah, so all my sessions are done via Skype or Zoom. And I offer 1-hour sessions. I offer 5-week courses, 7-week courses. I've got a channeling and clairvoyance academy. And yeah, I'm bonkers. So just be warned, I'm bloody bonkers, but you've probably already gathered that. But yeah, that's the way I work.
I wouldn't call you bonkers at all. I'd call you so full of life that you were like a magnet of joy.
Oh, thank you.
And a breath of fresh air of normality.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So just to, over the next wee while before we finish off our interview together today, our conversation, is there a message that the beautiful ones around you would like to give the viewers?
Yep, I'm going to shut my eyes and bring Orla in, if that's okay. And he's the spokesperson from the Pleiades.
Beautiful.
Look, a massive chess piece. Not chess piece, like chess piece. Okay, we'll change that now. Okay, just a moment. I am Orla from the Council of 9, and I bring you tidings of great peace. We want you to know that everything that is spreading across the world has been predestined and prearranged. Humanity is going to feel the benefits of these changes in the long run. And whilst we do not dispute that there is much fear and there is much hatred in the world, there is also an uprising and a surging of love. We do not want any of you to ignore the events that are happening to your brothers and sisters. For brothers and sisters is what all of you are. You all come from the loins of God. But what we will say is that it is your own hearth and your own fire that you must attend to first. There is no point trying to stop the separation and the judgments of others if you are judging and separating yourself from us, because there is no separation. There is only spirit. There is only union. And in the end, there is only love. We want each of you to know that you have a divine purpose, which is very human, and it is not perfect. Energy is not perfect, but energy will grow, energy will expand, and so will you. The life circumstances that trouble you so much are designed to bring out the very best in you. Do not struggle with your feelings of shame and guilt. Do not struggle with your feelings of anxiety. Know that you are in no danger, even though you feel as though that is the case. We are lighting a fire under you. Gaia, a monadic planet, has lit this fire so that all of you may rid yourselves of what you call sin and understand that you are children of the light and that you are made of the light and you are love. And you are love, and only love will prevail. Know that abundance and happiness is meant for you, and we ask you to open your hearts to yourself above all others. Do not judge the people that you cannot help. Do not judge yourself for not being able to help the people that will not accept your help. Love yourself on their behalf as they do love you at a higher level. Know that each of you has a destiny, and this destiny is as bright as any star. One thing that we would have you know is that each of you has an army of light who stands around you, encouraging to burn your light brightly upon earth more than ever before. You are love incarnate, and as such, you will be victorious. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, deeply. Thank you. Thank you. A breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I'm a bit dizzy now. Not that I wasn't before. I just had a kitchen scissor haircut. My hair was down here, and I've got hair around me. But there we go.
You know, this.
Cannot see it.
This interview, Sheelagh, there are so many gems in what you've shared with us. These aha moments that I know that a lot of viewers are going to get. And of course, a remembrance. I mean, just listening to you again, there's an aha moment, even for me, just listening to you. You're such a gift. A breath of fresh air. So, no, I'm saying that as... because I know that you're just a mother and a wife. Same as us, we're just normal.
We are.
But what you're giving, I feel today, is that you're giving the viewers permission just to be.
Oh, yes.
Who you are. As the great Maitreya said, be who you are.
You know what? You'll be absolutely not in a good place if you try to be anything else. But when you are who you are, whatever that is, everything that's meant for you will find you. And I just want to say, everybody is a much more beautiful person than they have any idea that they are. And it isn't about anything you have or haven't done. It's about what you've got the potential to do. And that's, you know, really all that they're finishing on.
Thank you. And on that note, for the viewers and listeners, you've got beautiful, beautiful, every now and then we get to hear this voice. I don't know whether the viewers will hear it, but they're definitely with you. The company of heaven, I call it. So Sheelagh, thank you from me. And again, viewers, I'm going to have everything, all her details below. Janine, thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much, Sheelagh. It's been absolutely
my pleasure. Thank you. What do I do now?